What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside Guelph. My name is Steve Zahnd from the Zahnd team, the only place you're going to find a guaranteed 5-star real estate experience, or we pay you the commission back. All right, guys, so this is Inside Guelph Market Edition. What we're going to do is we're going to cover April's close and then the future trends report for the next 30 days. Hope you enjoy this show, and let's get right into it. Oh yeah, actually, before I do that, I'm sorry here. Before I do that, make sure if you like content like this, you like and subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so next time we shoot content like this, you'll be notified. And hey, if you do me one more huge favor, if you know anyone that would find this content valuable, hit that share button. All of those great things feed the YouTube algorithm and it gets this video out to more people. So thanks so much, really appreciate it. All right, without further ado, I'll stop asking you for stuff and we'll get right into it here. Boom, where is this button? There it is. All right, I redesigned these slides for you. I got some feedback that some of the other ones were hard to read, so I hope you enjoy the new updated look. And let's get right into it, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, guys, if you want to get into the conversation, put a comment in the video. If you have any questions, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right, awesome, guys. Here we go. Let's kick it off with what's on the market. Well, the 5-year average for April is around 255 units, and on our last check-in, we were at 124 pieces of inventory on the marketplace. What did we end up with? Well, we ended up with 151 units on the market, which is green. I made it green because, hey, it's more than our last check-in. It's not even close to our 5-year average, but we'll take it. Let's bring in the good old, looks like the slides broke there, so let me just escape because I want to make sure you guys get the info. Oh my gosh. Technical difficulties when you're live. That's always fun. For some reason I can't get out of it, so I'm just gonna have to maybe keep going here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm not sure what's going on. Can't get out of it. Let me go back in here because I want to give you the info, and we'll get there. We'll get back into it. Boom. Maybe we'll be at the edit screen here. Hey, technical difficulties. You gotta work through it. I'm not sure. There it is. I'm not sure why it didn't pop up. All right. So the 5-year average inventory mix for April was 140 singles, 13 semis, 50 towns, and 52 condos. And right now, what we're currently at is 86 singles, 10 semis, 29 towns, and 26 condos. And the big reveal I was going to do for you was that we actually added 22 singles to the inventory mix, which was the biggest gain that we had out of all of them. All right, let me get back into presentation mode, and hopefully we can get to the next slide. All right, April's closing report. Here we go. Hopefully I got no more technical difficulties. As you can see here, this represents the Guelph real estate market, this awesome image right here. And what is typically happening in April is we get about 10.4 properties to the market a day, which is about 312 homes to the real estate market in Guelph in the month of April. The last time we checked in, we were getting about 10.9 homes per day, which is a 4% increase over our 5-year average. The inflow, however, in the last 15 days really accelerated here to close the month, and it looks like we ended the month with 12.4 properties a day hitting the market, which ended the amount of total properties that went into the real estate market to 371 homes. It's much needed. Because obviously we're trying to build inventory here. As you saw in the slide previous, we don't have enough inventory. So we ended the month with 19% more homes than we do typically, and we added 60 more homes than we typically do in the month of April. How about on the way out? Well, on the way out, we usually send out 8.1 homes a day, which is about 243 homes in the month of April. And before I do there, on the mid-month check-in, we did 8.5 homes. So at the middle of April, we were on pace to sell only 8.5 homes a day, which is only a 5% increase. However, let's see if what the big reveal is here. Well, unfortunately, we kept accelerating through the end of April, and we ended up at 9.8 homes sold a day, which is 293. Which ended up being a 21% increase, and we sold 50 more homes than we typically do. However, the positive news in here, after I go over the failed report here, so we went from 28 failed homes to sell to 46. So even in this market, 46 homes failed to sell. Absolutely crazy. But the best, the good news here out of this whole thing is that we had a gain of 32 homes come to the market, which is obviously why we saw that increase in the last slide over there. Okay, so that's how April finished off, as you can see. So let's take a look at the future trends report and see what's going on. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I put this together, there's an interesting reveal that's going to happen a little bit later that I want you to stick around for. It's because obviously, as you can see, we accelerated here, right? We got more listings come to market. We got more sales that were happening based on our last check-in. So April finished really strong, but I got something interesting to show you at the in a couple of slides here. All right, so what is the next 30 days potentially going to look like? What's May shaping up to look like here? So what I want to do is I want to bring in the starting inventory. So right now on the market, we have 151 homes for sale. We typically our 5-year average for May is 11.7 homes per month. And the last time we checked in, we were at 11.6. So we were right at that sweet spot, trending in our 5-year average. However, the last 15 days is showing that we're bringing 13.2 homes to the market, which will absolutely smash any amount of homes we brought to the market in May. And we're going to potentially bring 409 homes to the market in May, which is phenomenal. It's exactly what we're hoping for here, which would be a 13% increase. And it also means we'd be bringing about 46 more homes to the market than we typically do. How about on the outflow side? Well, on the outflow side, in the month of May, we usually send out 8.5 homes every single day, which is usually around 263 homes sold every May in the month of May on our 5-year average. And the last time we checked in terms of like how many homes we're selling per day, based on our 15-day trends analysis, was 9.3. And when I just recently checked today, our trending outflow of properties over the last 15 days is actually 10.4. So what does this all mean? So I'm going to clean this up for you a little bit here. So over the last 15 days, the average amount of homes that have been selling has been 13.2. And that been coming into the market is 13.2 homes a day. And the amount of homes that are selling over the last 15 days is about 10.4, right? So we're just taking a snapshot in time to see if the most recent trend is going to be a good predictor for the future. Okay, perfect. So let's take a look here. And we're going to plug in 50 homes are going to fail to sell, because if we look at the last 2 months, April and March, they combined to be 51.7 homes average failed to sell. So I just rounded it to 50. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means we should have an ending inventory of 188 homes, which is getting better because it's going to potentially add, as you can see, over 30 homes to our current inventory right now. Okay, so how do we get there? So we started with 151. Looks like we're going to potentially send 409 properties to the market. We're going to be consuming about 322 homes out of the market, and then we also have to subtract the amount that is going to fail to sell. So total starting plus the 409 minus the 322 minus the 50, it leaves us with 188. Okay, so the next step is like how many months of inventory is on the market, and that's a good way of measuring how hot the market is. So what we're going to do is take this 188 and divide it by the 322, and that's going to show us how rapidly all the homes will get sold if no new homes come to the marketplace. All right, so let's take a look. Well, if we take the 188 divided by 322, it leaves us with 0.58 months of inventory on the marketplace, which means in about 19 days, if no new inventory came to the market, all the homes in Guelph would be gone. That'd be pretty crazy. Based on our last check-in, though, we had about half a month of inventory, so we did get 0.08 extra months of inventory. Hey, I'm going to take it. I mean, it's better than it going the other way. It looks like it's slowly starting to improve here. Okay, cool. All right, now we got, okay, this is going to be the fun slide here. Guelph average sale price, April 2021 versus March 2021, which was the last check-in. This is the report from the last check-in we did. We had an average sale price in April shaping up to be about $771,906, which was a $20,000 gain over the month of March, which would have seen a 2.7% increase month over month. However, if we actually look at the final numbers actually came in at $753,446, which is only a $1,900 gain from the month of March, which is only a 0.25% increase. So it really because that's the interesting thing I was talking about. Because obviously the sales were accelerating at the end of the month, right? We were only at X homes per day selling per day, and then all of a sudden it accelerated, and then we had 20% growth over our 5-year average. However, the average sale price dropped. So interesting. However, on the year over year, even though we started decelerating a little bit on the average sale price, if you did buy last year in April last year, the average sale price was $561,000, believe it or not, because we had a bit of a dip because of COVID, right? So if you did buy it during the peak COVID times, you did pretty well. You're up $192,446. So congratulations, that's a great buy. And let's see what's also going on here. Okay, so listing inflow. As you can see, we had a huge spur of listings come to the market in April. We had, in March. We had 427 homes come to the market in March, which is the most we've ever seen come to the market in that month. And then it started tapering off a little bit to April here. We got 371, and based on our projections, we're looking at we're going to get about 409 homes to the market in May. So as you can see, we're actually starting to get a lot tighter to our 5-year average, and based on last year's numbers, this was peak COVID, and this was like still peak COVID. So obviously we had no inventory at that time, but it looks like we're starting to get back to a little bit normal here. How about on the outflow side? Let's take a look. On the outflow side, home consumption side, we had peak home consumption in March. And then it's tapered off a little bit in April, and now based on the projections, we're going to get to about 322. However, it looks like the spread is really starting to come down here. We're getting closer to our 5-year average, so that's a sign that things could be leveling off a little bit. Another sign that's leveling off a little bit is I always like to look at this one here. As you can see here in January and February, the gap was extremely tight. The amount of homes coming to the market versus how many homes were selling. It was extremely small, and then slowly but surely the gap started increasing. You can really start seeing the gap increase here in April, which is why we saw over 30 homes extra come to the market than were consumed. So that is a good sign that things are potentially widening, which means more inventory should be coming to the market. And as you can see, based on our projections for May, that gap is going to widen even further, which will hopefully bring more options to buyers. And if there's more options for buyers, then there should be less, blind offers, 50 offers on one house, because there's actually more to shop for. You have more options to buy, right? So the more options, the less pressure this crazy seller's market's going to have, which is exactly what we're looking for. And it's starting to translate over into the other numbers as well here. As you can see, we started the days on market, average days on market was around 10. Went all the way down to 8, crept back up to 9, and now we're back to 11. So we actually have home, even though it's really quick still. I mean, 11 days is not any kind of danger sign here, but it is a good sign that things might be softening a little bit, which is definitely important in my opinion for the health of the real estate market to settle down a little bit, give people more options, and we can start seeing with the metrics here that things are starting to sit on the market a little bit longer, even though it's not crazy, but we are starting to close the gap here a little bit. List price to sale price ratio is coming steadily down, right? So from 112% to 110.69, 109, and now 108. So there's almost a percentage knocking off every single month. We're still obviously way higher up than our traditional average list price to sale price ratio. Our average list price to sale price ratio is 101% in Guelph. So it's a really strong market here in Guelph. But it is nice to see it start to come. The indicators are showing us it's starting to come down. Homes available for sale, as we could see, right? Another indicator that things are potentially taking it easier is that our 5-year average. We're still really far away from our 5-year average in terms of inventory on the market, as you can see, but it looks like we're starting to finally creep up a little bit here and catch up to our 2020 numbers. So interestingly enough, this is pretty interesting in my opinion, I'm not sure if you feel the same way, is that we still had actually quite a bit of inventory on the market at peak pandemic levels here, but it's just the sales didn't happen, right? There was just no sales happening. but even this year, we just can't even catch up. We're not even able to catch up to the pandemic months of inventory. So hopefully, the inventory keeps trekking up and we get back to normal levels, which would be great. Okay, awesome. So I wanted to show you this one more thing here. I want to kind of do a summary here and talk about it. So as you can see here in April of 2017, I'm always drawing conclusions to 2017 because I think we're in almost an identical market here. The only difference in 2017 is the government stepped in to cool the housing market with increased qualification rates, foreign buyers tax. So that really actually cooled the housing market off. As you can see here in April, was about 142 homes on the market. Pretty similar, right? We have about 151 homes on the market right now. And then it shot up to 237 the next month in May, right? So it was a huge spike in inventory, and then it spiked up even crazier. I can't even see that because the hand is there. But it looks about it's 300 plus homes, 326 homes on the market. So a dramatic shoot up in inventory here in 2017. And then you could see the byproduct of that down here, right? So in 2017, April, we had peak price in 2017 here. Peak price was in May, right with that inventory spike. But then starting in June, it started to drop, July drop, September and October, it really started dropping here. So that's where things started to slide, but that's where April was the month where those introductions of those cooling measures were introduced. So the reason I'm drawing this parallel here is because you can see there was a spike up, a little bit of a flattening of the curve here, and then a drop. And that's directly correlated to this inventory trend blowing up here, as you can see. And we can almost see the same thing happening over here, right? We had 76 homes on the market. Can you believe it? 76 homes were on the market in January, around this time. Anyways, I'm not sure exactly if that's January. It looks like it could be. Maybe that's where January is 91 here. And then we're slowly ticking up here. And I have May's forecasted inventory in here as well. Kind of show you where the inventory trend could go. And then as you can see here, it's starting to flatten a little bit. We have that spike, boom, spike, flatten, drop, spike, flatten. And I mean, obviously the government's going to be stepping in here. I know they were kind of talking about increasing qualifying rates. I am not actually sure if that's even gone through. I don't think it has. Otherwise, I'd probably know about it. And so in my opinion, they're not really interested in cooling the housing market because something needs to keep the Canadian economy going. But as the economy maybe opens up and, you know, the vaccines start rolling out and things get back to normal, they probably don't want the housing market to continue to accelerate at the pace it's currently at. So there could be probably, in my opinion, the government could probably step in and cool the housing market once the rest of the economy starts recovering again. So why am I telling you this? Well, if you're selling, you can already see that the indicators are starting to show you that you're likely not going to get a lot more money out of this market than you already can get right now. So if you're on the fence about selling, it's probably time to reach out to us and see if there's a good strategy we can put into place for you to still capture max value for you. On the buy side, hey, things look like they're opening up again. You should be able to hopefully shop around a little bit and take advantage of the market softening. And the reason I want to show you this red line here is if you're a buyer, like Steve, like why would I buy right now? You know, the market might crash, the market might go down. And yes, that could happen, but we can't predict with 100% accuracy it's going to happen. But if we look at this, it takes approximately about 3 years from if you bought in the peak of 2017 to today. It took about 3 years to recover. So in April 2020, you recovered from those prices. So essentially, if you're buying, just don't be buying with a short-term mentality. Buy with a long-term mentality, because I can guarantee you, if we can take a time machine, go back to 2017 at peak prices, I guarantee you, as a buyer, you would be buying this right now. I think it's a little bit more interesting for sellers, because with sellers, you know, they're potentially exiting the market, right? If you're retiring, or you need to sell, or you just have some financial circumstances that you need the money, and you're just moving on, you know, they might not be in this market much longer. So if it drops, it's going to hurt them a lot more than it's going to hurt a buyer buying and holding in this marketplace. Those are my 2 cents anyways. Take what you want with them. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you jumping on here and spending some time with me about the Guelph real estate market again. My name is Steve Zahnd from the Zahnd team. If you are interested in potentially talking about your real estate goals, we obviously go into depth about the real estate market. And we actually have a real estate journey that we guide you through, guarantee the 5-star real estate experience. So again, really appreciate it. Hit us up. Check out the links below if you want to book a strategy call, or just call the number that's also below here, and one of our next available agents will get in contact with you. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.